For this project, you're going to need some bricks. I'm using folk art chalk paint in the color cashmere, and I'm painting the top skinny side as well as one skinny side of the brick. I repeat this process for all of the bricks. Now that all of the bricks are dry, it's time to paint the rest of the sides. It's important to pick a kind of paint that will reflect where the bricks will be placed. So if they'll be in the elements, you'll want something that will stand up to the elements. Once that was completely painted, I moved on and continued painting all of the other bricks in a variety of colors. I grabbed a permanent marker in the color black and drew stripes on the top skinny side. This reflected pages of the book, and I did this for all of the bricks. Now it was time to decorate the binder. So I grabbed a variety of permanent markers in a variety of colors and drew some designs, some stripes, and also some little shapes. Now that everything is on the books and the bricks are complete, it's time to place them in the garden. And here it is, all completed in my garden. And I hope this inspires you to make a garden border of your own.
So I have an assortment of vintage garden tools in my toolbox here, and I have the lid of an oil drum can. You will need a drill with a metal bit for your clock part to fit through. We're going to mark where our tools are going to be. What I did was I created a template using a piece of paper that was just slightly larger than the large hand. Your parts need to fall within this space around the template. Some of these tools are easier to attach than others, so they're all going to actually be attached a little bit differently. But just drill a hole or two, figure out your wire, attach it, and twist it on the back. Okay, so I've got my 12, my 3, my 6, and my 9 all attached. Now I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to place all of my other tools. Now for the best part, we get to hang it on the wall. So I've chosen to hang this right above our back door, so that now all our guests will see exactly what time it is when they arrive.
I want to turn this spindle into something fun for the backyard. I'm going to paint it this beautiful blue. I'm going to do both sides of the spindle so that it's all one color, and I want to make sure to do the ends as well. I want to add some additional colors. I'm going to add some sage green around a few of the smaller round parts. I find using a little brush for these parts really helps. I'm going to cover the entire spindle now with this pearl glaze. Once it's dry, it's going to add the perfect amount of shine. I found this piece of dryer venting at the reuse store recently. I'm going to start by slicing it down the middle. I can do this with just a normal pair of scissors. Now that I've worked my way down the middle, I'm going to go ahead and cut off a section. With this end cut off, I want to flatten it out. It's actually quite easy to flatten out by just pushing it down until it lays flat. Now that I have all 4 sections cut, I want to turn them into wings. I'm going to make 2 different sizes, so we'll have 2 larger ones and 2 smaller ones when I'm done. To give the wings a little bit of color, I'm going to lightly brush on some blue paint to the ends. I'm also going to add some sage green to the middles, and then some cream paint to the tips of the wings. I'm just going to use some small nails and a hammer to hold all 4 wings in place. The final thing I need to do is attach a small head. I've gone ahead and painted a ball with the blue paint and pearl glaze, and I'm just going to use some glue to hold it in place. I love how fun this giant dragonfly is. It adds such a colorful touch to the fence and was so easy to make. I hope this has inspired you to make some giant friends for your backyard this summer as well. To start this project, I want to remove the handles to the spoons. There are a few ways I can remove the handles: a straight edge knife, some snips, or scissors. It's really important to paint the side of the spoon that food would normally sit in. I'm starting with some black paint, and I want to paint little black dots on two of the spoons, and the other one I want to paint solid black. For my second set of spoons, I want to leave two of the spoons clear, and on the third one, I want to paint some black stripes. With the second coat of black dry, I want to paint the spoons with the dots red. I'm going to paint the red right over top of the black spots. When I turn them around, I'll then be able to see the dots and the rest will be all red. For the spoon with the stripes, I want to paint it the same way, but this time I'm going to do it with yellow paint. It's time to put the spoons together now. I'm going to use my hot glue gun with a little glue to keep them together. To make the faces for my little cuties, I'm going to use a small piece of black pipe cleaner. Now that I have it shaped, I can just glue it right over the ends of the spoon and it'll cover that up as well. I'm going to put a dab of glue on the underside of the middle spoon, and then I want to put a skewer into it while it dries. The skewers are going to allow me to stick these into my plants as if the little bugs were flying around. I love how adorable these are in my plants and how fun they look.
Did you know that dollar store hanging baskets aren't just for hanging plants? And then we're going to start the project by removing the chains and the hooks that are attached to each one. The next thing you're going to do is take the two garden baskets that you purchased and you're going to secure them together, open side together. And you can do this a number of ways. You can use some metal gauge wire, which is what I have here. You want to try to get that wire as tight as you can. Then you're going to take your baskets outside, and I just held up these two hanging planters to spray them with a little spray paint, just a light dusting. This is more to get everything a uniform color because chances are the wire or the zip ties that you use just aren't the same color. Once you've let it dry, you're going to grab a pack of string lights. I used wire string lights from IKEA. Do not unravel these ahead of time. Learn from my mistakes and unravel as you are attaching it. Okay, so once you have secured the lights around as much of your garden baskets as you can, then you're going to want to install the batteries and check and make sure it works. Now you have a couple options of how to use it. You can attach the chains and hook again to one end and you can hang it on a patio umbrella, or you can place this in a planter with a vining plant and turn it on for your enjoyment on the patio or porch or any outdoor space. I hope you found this helpful.